The path to retirement is different for everyone. And as life changes, so do priorities. Fidelity can help you get where you want to go. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement, whether you're saving for it or already living in it. Get started at fidelity.com/takeon. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark Review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today we're discussing Holidazed Episode 3, a series streaming exclusively on the Hallmark Plus platform. Follow us on Instagram. We are Girls Gone Hallmark. Coming up very soon is our annual countdown to Christmas bracket. It is a great time. You are going to want to participate and cheer for your favorite movies of the season. Let's talk Holidazed and start with a synopsis of episode 3.
The Lynn family. Ted and Marcus celebrate their engagement during Christmas, but chaos ensues when Grandma Lynn unexpectedly arrives, unaware that Ted has never come out to her.
That's weird wording. That's straight from the Hallmark website. Like, she's not unaware. She's unaware that Ted is gay.
Yeah, that is weird. Weird.
Episode was directed by Gina Matthews and David Weaver.
The episode was written by Matt McConkey. Matt has 7 writing credits, including Heathers, the TV series, bajillion-dollar properties.
Last night, Wendy was like, what do I know the name Matt McConkey from? And I was like, I know, it's so familiar to me too. And then I did a quick Google search. He's a regular... I don't know if that podcast still exists, Bitch Sesh.
It does.
He's a regular on that. He's kind of in that circle of friends.
Mm-hmm. We hear that name thrown around a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of names, let's run some quick news and notes. Osric Chow plays Ted Lynn. He's the son. Osric has 74 acting credits. He was last seen on Hallmark in Christmas at the Golden Dragon.
Sean Ahmed plays Marcus, Ted's fiance. Sean has 1 previous Hallmark appearance on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and 58 total acting credits.
Jasmine Chen plays Ella Lynn. She's the daughter. Jasmine is an accomplished stage actress with just 13 screen credits, and this is her first project for Hallmark.
Sharon Crandall plays Mom Lois. Sharon is a Hallmark staple with 39 acting credits. Recently, she's been in Holiday Road and Christmas at the Golden Dragon, and she has 6 projects currently in production.
Stanley Jung plays Dad Steve. Stanley has just 12 acting credits, the majority of which are shorts. However, he did appear in Jingle Bell Bride in 2020 and The Gift of Peace in 2022.
Lucille Sung plays Grandma Lynn. Lucille has been acting since 1959, and her credits include Desperate Housewives and Freaky Friday. She also played Grandma on 115 episodes of Fresh Off the Boat for a total of 70 acting roles.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to break down this episode of Holidazed.
Building a business may feel like a big jump, but OnDeck Small Business Loans can help keep you afloat. With lines of credit up to $100,000 and term loans up to $250,000, OnDeck lets you choose the loan that's right for your business. As a top-rated online small business lender, OnDeck's team of loan advisors can help you find the right business loan to fit your needs. Visit OnDeck.com for more information. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank. OnDeck does not lend in North Dakota. All loans and amounts subject to lender approval.
The path to retirement is different for everyone. And as life changes, so do priorities. Fidelity can help you get where you want to go. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement, whether you're saving for it or already living in it. Get started at fidelity.com/takeon. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
We're back, and this episode starts strong with a closet metaphor.
I laughed out loud, to be honest.
I did too. I'm glad they called it out. We have Ted and Marcus in the closet, and they're all kind of debating, like, what do we, the whole what are we going to do about grandma? In comes Sister Ellis. They make a joke about this being the Asian reboot of the Birdcage. Mom and Dad join them.
A joke that doesn't land with me because I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either, but like there's a gay reference there. Here's what I think this show does really well. We interviewed Jonathan Bennett and he was like, I think what works for Hallmark is like all of the characters are not gay, but they're and gay. Like they're a son. And I think they're doing a really good job of putting the gay piece forward in this episode.
For sure.
They're talking about the challenges. They're talking about coming out. They're talking about the shame that they feel when they're having to be in hiding. I really like all of that. They say grandma's like tiny but powerful. And Marcus is like trying to psychoanalyze them and like, here's all the reasons you can't stand up to her. And they're like, she's just scary, man. Yeah. And then he's like, friends, we are actually in a closet. We have problems here.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I'm glad that he called it out at the end because when they're first in there, I was like, they're literally in the closet. Like, I was like, is this coincidental or is this on purpose?
I loved it. And it's actually a big, beautiful, spacious, well-lit closet. In our next scene, Marcus discovers Ted's not wearing his engagement ring and he's really hurt. He's like, we're out. We're proud. It hurts me that you're not behaving that way. And he's like, I don't want to disappoint her. Like, I'm carrying on the family legacy. We're connected because we work together. He calls himself the chosen one at one point, and Marcus is really hurt because he was like, why does our relationship change any of that?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Ted's like, let's just wait until after Christmas. And Marcus asks another great question. Who is it easier for? Easier for you or easier for grandma?
Okay, so if I can stop you there, this is where my head starts to like explode while I'm watching this episode. It's a really good episode.
Yeah.
But this is what frustrates me about the holidays is like we're watching in this episode, we're watching them keep this big family secret from grandma, right? And it's because they like, even the mom says it at one point. She's like, we just want like everybody to get along. Everybody's like keep up all this like facade. Like it's the holidays.
Yes.
I hate all of that.
Of course.
I hate living like pretending that everything is okay because you have to get through the holidays. Like I just find that so frustrating.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, this is a deeper conversation, but I was saying to my husband, I was like, why do we put ourselves in a position like we're recording this Thanksgiving week? And so it's top of mind. And I was like, why are we putting ourselves in a position where we have to just kind of like get through certain elements of the holidays? Well, who are we doing that for?
Yeah.
Why do we feel obligated to do that?
I don't know.
You make a very good point.
It is a personal pet peeve of mine to be like everybody faking Christmas cheer just because.
And look, we have holiday experiences in our house that are genuinely lovely, like people that we enjoy spending time with. Like it feels like Christmas. And we have holiday experiences where we leave and we're like, oh wow, that wasn't so bad. Nobody said anything horrible. We weren't put in an uncomfortable, nobody cried. It's like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Yeah. So when I think of this episode, while I thought it was really good and there was a lot of like forward progress for Hallmark.
Yeah.
It was personally just a hard watch for me.
I don't disagree.
Like being gay or being like hiding my sexuality or whatever. Like
you just have regular schmegular family stuff.
Yeah, totally. So like I felt for these people, for Ted and for Marcus in this situation, but I was like so infuriated at like his parents for like going on with the charade.
I was too, but his parents are dealing with some stuff too that we'll get into.
Okay.
This scene ends with like Marcus moving his engagement ring to his other hand in solidarity. Like he and Ted are going to be on the same team here. Speaking of keeping up a facade, a charade, the next scene, Mom's like prepping all of Marcus's favorite dishes for Christmas. And that's going to be a departure from their typical family Christmas dinner. And once again, they're afraid to tell Nai that they're going to do it differently. And they're all afraid to make these changes that are going to hurt grandma. I'm like, it's one meal. This resonates with me deeply. We have a similar situation. It's so silly. I'm like, it's one meal. Yeah. You show up and you enjoy the meal that is served to you at the family that is hosting. That's the end. There should be no further discussion.
Yeah.
You want the roasted duck? Cool. Go make one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you are heard, Megan. You are heard.
God, I found a lot of this triggering because in the next scene, Grandma's like, she tells Marcus, like, our Chinese wedding tradition is very important. And I'm like, what about Marcus's traditions? Like, we have 2 people getting married here.
Yeah, we talked about this in Christmas with the Sings, same kind of theme, dealing with like blended families or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Like Marcus needs to be recognized. Like he's a person who has traditions as well. And his aren't less special.
No, and at no point is there a discussion about like, how can we merge these? Like I know this is a show and we're supposed to like feel the drama, but I'm like, why isn't the conversation like, oh, what wedding traditions are important to you? So we can find a way. Like my wedding, we had a DJ and we had an Armenian band and they rotated every 30 minutes at our wedding after dinner. Like there's a way to do these things. And then Nai's like, we're having a photo shoot.
I thought this scene was really funny because I thought Marcus and Sister Ella played this very well of like, we are not a couple. We are super awkward. They've just met. Yes. Honestly, I think that's right. Like they've just met, right?
Well, and Marcus doesn't like women. So he's like, in this, he's supposed to be like snuggling up on his future sister-in-law. I do like when they like lean into it. Like Ted goes up there and he's like, you got to summon that high school theater energy. And they do that Titanic pose. I liked that.
I thought all that stuff was really funny.
But then we go to a fortune teller, Chung Shifu. The most notable thing about this scene is the transition. They play this song by Kaya Cash, but I think the song might be called Wow. But it's like the tone for a Hallmark show. It's fun. I loved it. But
you know what I noticed about that scene? The music was so incredibly loud. I had to turn it down because I was like watching this at night and I'm watching it at normal level. And then all of a sudden this super loud song comes on. I was like, oh my God, I got to turn this down.
Yeah.
But I thought this transition was interesting too. Very interesting. I'm not familiar with that song by any means, but I thought the sentiment was like, Grandma's a baddie.
Yes, exactly. Right? This fortune teller kind of does a little numerology. Oh, your birthdays say that you're a good match. And the reveal at the end is that Ella actually gave Ted's birthday. Which actually I thought was a very sweet moment in a series of like really frustrating ones.
Yeah.
There's a funny scene here where Grandma and the fortune teller are like talking about Ted in Chinese. And Grandma's like, yeah, Ted doesn't like not being the center of attention because he keeps like injecting himself in the conversation, which is kind of shady, but I thought it was funny. There's like a series, like they go cake tasting, they go to the florist, and Ted's like trying to control the whole thing.
Yeah.
Marcus is having a little bit of fun with it. Ted's like, I don't think carrot cake is a wedding cake flavor. And Marcus is like, can you make it extra carroty?
Carrot cake is a great wedding cake flavor.
I know. I was trying to think, did my wedding cake have multiple flavors? Like, cause it, like, sometimes you do different tiers.
Yeah, I think mine was. I can't remember though.
I can't either, but carrot cake is it goes great with a cream cheese frosting.
Oh yeah. I want some carrot cake right now.
I know.
Doesn't that sound good?
Starving. We go to our wardrobe fitting. Ted gets somehow in a outrageous sequin coat.
Yes. I like your note here.
Yeah, so this is the moment in my note. I'm like, is Grandma clowning them? Like, is she like, come on. I know what is going on here.
I am hoping. However, I've seen the end of this episode, but I am hoping she's going to be like, yeah, I knew all along. Dummies.
Yeah.
Why are you keeping it from me?
Based on the end of the episode, I don't think that's what was happening.
Know.
Because there was this moment when he comes out that I was like, oh, she knows. She's like, let me make you increasingly more uncomfortable.
Right.
But then I just don't think so. They had a cool opportunity to make that the story.
Yeah.
There's a touching moment between Ella and Grandma. She tries on like a red and gold dress. There's like a little bit of compromise here. Like it's traditional-ish, but it's definitely more modern. And Grandma's like, I can be modern. I can be cool. And then old high school friend of Ella's runs into her. And we learn that she's Twitter famous for her tweets slamming the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And now here she is, like, in this wedding dress. When they take the selfie, they say traditional gender roles, which is hilarious. And like later on, Ella tries to get out of it. She's like, it's a social experiment. Like,
so this part where like the former classmate sees her, I was like, oh, this is when like your web of life starts to fall apart. But you can't keep up these like things forever. No. Like, I'm so frustrated watching this episode.
When we move on, Grandma gives Marcus her mother's ring. Her son Steve didn't want it. Now in the last episode, I want to point out that you were like, it's the mom's mom. It's the dad's
I stand
mom.
Corrected. Okay. I stand corrected. Yeah, of course you're gonna point it out to me. Well, I saw it in your notes.
I was wrong.
I see it in your notes way here at the top.
At this point, now Ted's like, she's calling my bluff. It's gone too far. We need to tell her the truth. And role reversal, Marcus is like, he's afraid. Like, I think Marcus maybe has connected with her. He doesn't want to hurt her. And so he interrupts and he's like, I've made Ted my best man.
Yes. This is where also I get frustrated. Marcus has had like a full change of heart in like the last 12 hours.
Well, I think also what happens is like in this conversation is when Grandma like makes the announcement, like I'm stepping down as CEO. And I'm like, Grandma was still working up until this point.
Yeah. And I wish I had a better understanding what their job or what their company is.
Yeah, I don't know. But she names Ted CEO. And I think what Marcus is doing here is he doesn't want to ruin this moment. Like Ted has worked for this. He really wants this. And so Marcus is like, well, I can save this moment.
Right.
Back to the closet.
Ted in the closet.
Ted and Ella both yell at Marcus. They're like, we had our opportunity. And he's like, I don't want to make you do it before you're ready. And also, I don't want to kill Grandma. And then, I don't know, Marcus like fake proposes to Ella. Like, will you be my fake wife / real sister-in-law? It's fine. I'm just frustrated with these people.
Me too. So frustrated.
I'm sitting here. She's old and fragile, but like you can be your true self.
I'm sitting here and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, are we not telling Grandma because she's had this heart issue and she needs to manage her stress? Are we not telling Grandma because Grandma might have certain thoughts about people being gay?
Yeah, but 100% that's the reason.
I know, but do we feel like we're skirting around it?
No, I don't think so at all. They think Ted being gay is going to kill Grandma.
Because she does not approve, correct?
Because she wants him to marry a nice woman.
Okay.
She's very traditional, is what we've been told. Now, we'll get there. Then we get back to more not telling Grandma things because Steve's like, Linda, you got to tell Grandma about dinner. We're not having the roast duck. And this conversation actually goes fine. She's like, oh, it'll be a culinary adventure.
She's not too stuck in her ways. Like she can appreciate Marcus and his whatever.
Yes, it was fine. Then we go to the wedding venue. Marcus and Ella have the most awkward tango ever.
Yes, but counterpoint, Marcus and Ted's dance was great.
Yeah.
It was so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
You know me, I love Dancing with the Stars.
I know. I was just like, oh, their frame is so nice.
They must have really practiced.
Yeah, it looked great.
I thought it was so good.
Then we get a fun montage. Like we learn that Grandma has put an engagement announcement in the paper and Ted and Marcus and Ella make it their goal to steal every single newspaper in the town.
Question for you. We saw that recently in another movie. What movie was that? There was like a weird like duck paper stand paper machine thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was like a topic of conversation and I can't remember what movie that was.
The Blueberry Farm movie?
Oh, it might be. Yeah.
Where she's trying to get the papers, but why?
I can't remember, but I think that's it. I think it is it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a funny, like, set to music montage.
Yeah, I love a montage. Give me a montage.
And the little girl's like, stealing's bad. And then they burn them all. And now we come around to the night of the storm, which we know was happening Christmas Eve. Really funny. Ella's freaking out. And Mom's like, is there a Twitter emergency? Which is hilarious because that's the thing my husband says to me. Whenever I pick up my phone, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You know what's... I know this was filmed a long time ago. Can we stop using Twitter?
I know. You do run the risk, right? Twitter is a sinking ship, man.
I mean, and they're not going to use Blue Sky was available, but it's not. I mean, that's like an up and coming thing. But like TikTok, but TikTok might be gone next month. So who knows?
And Twitter, I don't even know if Twitter was Twitter at this point. Like, was it X?
I don't know.
They do have kind of a nice moment, Ella and her mom, where she's like, well, maybe someday I do want love in my life. I just want it on my terms.
Sure.
which is great.
See, it's fair that like Ella has told Grandma, this is my life. This is what I want out of it. But like Ted doesn't get to tell her.
Yeah. But Ella doesn't tell Grandma. Ella tells her mom.
Oh, my bad. Yes, you're right.
Marcus and Ted have a conversation, and I think Marcus is like, well, I kind of liked like planning the wedding because you took over. Like, I didn't get it. So I'd like, to have some input there. There's not really any blame placed. He's like, I just let you do it because it was easy. We go to Christmas dinner, and Marcus is really touched because Linda made all of his like family favorites, which were like kind of like Midwestern infused with Indian spices.
Yeah.
Grandma says like she likes the change, and then she's like real upset. None of my friends saw the paper. Boom, lights go out.
That's not what happened. Oh, that's
looking
right.
for lanterns.
My bad. Yeah, you're
right. So they're like
okay.
out in the pouring rain, and Ted and Marcus, they find each other, and they're like, I found it. And they have a moment, and they kiss, and then Grandma sees through the window and has this real exaggerated
Did you see her face? Yeah.
So that's the moment where I'm like,
Grandma's not in on it.
Yeah. Like what I wanted from Grandma Lynn is I wanted her to be clowning them. Like they think that's funnier. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted her to have the moment where when they reveal it, for her to be like, I love you. Like, yes, I had this vision for you, but none of that changes. Like I can still want this beautiful future for you. I want her to be hurt in the sense that like she thinks like anything could change the way. Like, yes, I like tradition, and yes, I come from a very like traditional background, but I still want to love who you are.
Right. So going forward, we anticipate like the last episode of the series is going to be like kind of like the first episode where like everybody, like all the families.
Yeah.
How does this story move forward though?
Yeah, I don't know.
It really doesn't. Unless Grandma comes back and she's like, yeah, I
hope
knew.
That's the move where she's like, oh, why would you think I would love you any less?
Yeah.
Why would you think this would hurt me?
Because otherwise then if she's just angry.
Yeah, there's no time to recover for that on Christmas Day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see how this comes together, but man, this was like a frustrating watch, especially after really enjoying last episode with the Hill family.
I mean, I really am liking the show. I think this is a good episode, but I think it's tackling some real issues.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's why it's so frustrating.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast and you're sitting around this holiday break, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can leave them in the Apple Podcast app. Let everybody know why you love us and why they should listen. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product.
Is it just me, or is it getting really hard to figure out the best way to save for retirement? Fidelity can help you find clarity so you can save the best way for you. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement your way. Get started at fidelity.com/future. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
From the makers of Rice-A-Roni comes Macaroni, a creamy, delicious boxed mac and cheese that's not just good, it's cheesy good. Macaroni will please even the pickiest eaters with 2 magnificent flavors that will melt your heart. Creamy cheddar and creamy white cheddar. If you love cheese, you'll love Macaroni by the makers of Rice-A-Roni. If you don't love cheese, well, that's just unbelievable. Try Macaroni. It's cheesy good.
Macaroni, the San Francisco treat.
Bye.
The path to retirement is different for everyone. And as life changes, so do priorities. Fidelity can help you get where you want to go. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement, whether you're saving for it or already living in it. Get started at fidelity.com/takeon. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
From the makers of Rice-A-Roni comes Macaroni, a creamy, delicious boxed mac and cheese that's not just good, it's cheesy good. Macaroni will please even the pickiest eaters with two magnificent flavors that will melt your heart: creamy cheddar and creamy white cheddar. If you love cheese, you'll love Macaroni by the makers of Rice-A-Roni. If you don't love cheese, well, that's just unbelievable. Try Macaroni. It's cheesy good.
Macaroni, the San Francisco treat.
There's saving for retirement, and then there's living in it. At Fidelity, we can help you make that transition and plan for whatever comes next. With a free personalized income plan, you can view and manage your cash flow across accounts. Plus, you'll get investing insights to help you make your savings last. Ready to take on retirement? Get started at fidelity.com/income planning. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
From the makers of Rice-A-Roni comes Macaroni, a creamy, delicious boxed mac and cheese that's not just good, it's cheesy good. Macaroni will please even the pickiest eaters with two magnificent flavors that will melt your heart: creamy cheddar and creamy white cheddar. If you love cheese, you'll love Macaroni by the makers of Rice-A-Roni. If you don't love cheese, well, that's just unbelievable. Try Macaroni. It's cheesy good.
Macaroni, the San Francisco treat.
The path to retirement is different for everyone. And as life changes, so do priorities. Fidelity can help you get where you want to go. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement, whether you're saving for it or already living in it. Get started at fidelity.com/takeon. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
From the makers of Rice-A-Roni comes Macaroni, a creamy, delicious boxed mac and cheese that's not just good, it's cheesy good. Macaroni will please even the pickiest eaters with two magnificent flavors that will melt your heart: creamy cheddar and creamy white cheddar. If you love cheese, you'll love Macaroni by the makers of Rice-A-Roni. If you don't love cheese, well, that's just unbelievable. Try Macaroni. It's cheesy good.
Macaroni, the San Francisco treat.
The path to retirement is different for everyone. And as life changes, so do priorities. Fidelity can help you get where you want to go. With a free personalized plan, goal tracking, and timely insights, you'll be set to take on retirement, whether you're saving for it or already living in it. Get started at fidelity.com/takeon. Expenses charged by your investments and other costs and fees associated with trading or transacting in your account apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
When you give a gift from LL Bean, you're giving favorites in the making designed with thoughtfulness and care. Like the popular made-to-do-it-all puffer blanket. Light, warm, packable, and in fun graphics. It's the perfect gift for campers, snugglers, fire pit storytellers, outdoor concert goers, and more. It even has snaps at the top so you can wear it like a cape. This holiday, find out why there's nothing like something from LL Bean. Shop the puffer blanket and more favorites at llbean.com/gifts.
Always smells like pine. She said, get out the chat room and clean mine. Glad, stretch, feeling pine so fresh.
The Glad Girl Group coming at you with a throwback jam. That was Glad Force Flex Drawstring Trash Bags featuring Pine Sol Original Scent. And that's better than all good. It's all Glad.
After the end of a good fight, you deserve an ice-cold reward. Modelo, you put in the hours, the energy, the tough labor. Because you know the bigger the fight, the better the reward. Modelo, the mark of the fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
From the makers of Rice-A-Roni comes Macaroni, a creamy, delicious boxed mac and cheese that's not just good, it's cheesy good. Macaroni will please even the pickiest eaters with 2 magnificent flavors that will melt your heart. Creamy cheddar and creamy white cheddar. If you love cheese, you'll love Macaroni by the makers of Rice-A-Roni. If you don't love cheese, well, that's just unbelievable. Try Macaroni. It's cheesy good.
Macaroni, the San Francisco treat.